So I am of the firm belief that there simply is not enough Stardew Valley content available for me to consume. Rather than sit around waiting for more content to be created, I've decided to take matters into my own hands. I've decided to create the unofficial, and I cannot emphasize this enough, very, very unofficial Stardew Valley novel. I did this with the help of a plot generator. Right, so we start with some basic information. The title of the novel will be based on an object from the story. There is financial conflict and there will be a sad ending. I want the story to be emotional, provocative. I want it to move people to tears as they read it. Our protagonist is going to be Harvey, with Abigail being our secondary character. I honestly can't remember ever seeing these two interact in the game, so this is going to be a bit of a fresh experience for us all. What does the second character want from the protagonist? I have said Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. I feel like that's something anybody would want, so that should add a good bit of drama and tension to our novel. Abigail does not like Harvey very much for the sake of our novel. I don't know how she feels about him in the game, but this is our novel, so it doesn't matter. Something the protagonist would like to say to the second character. I've gone with, how are your vibes at this current moment? I think that sums it up. Our novel takes place in Pelican Town, of course, of course. Harvey feels positively about the place. I assume he would. He lives there. He's the doctor. He seems to be enjoying himself. We have decided to specifically mention Pierre's store in our novel, and we've described the store as tasty, and it insists upon itself. I'm not sure how to explain that second one, but I'm sure you know what I mean. For 4 emotion adjectives, I've decided to go with ecstatic, vibey, swagalicious, and flabbergasted. Moving on, scrumptious is a great way to describe an object in my opinion. I feel like you could say that about pretty much anything. It's universal, is what I'm trying to say. 6 adjectives to describe somebody's character. I've gone with splendid, sensational, amusing, very cool, like very, very cool, goth, and incredible. An occasion, I've gone with the flower dance. I feel like everybody knows that. If you play Stardew Valley, you know what the flower dance is. 3 verbs, I've gone with consuming, eating, and inhaling. I'm hungry. Something slash somebody vulnerable, I've gone with me. And now you might compare the main character to, I've gone with an after 8 mint chocolate. And now you might compare the other character to, this is of course in reference to Abigail, I've said menace. If you've watched my Hunger Games video, then you know why. A type of music, I've gone with Radio Mirror Park radio station from Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a good radio station. The protagonist's favourite drink, obviously it's going to be coffee. Again, if you play Stardew Valley, you know that that's one of his loved gifts. So, we're sticking to the canon stuff here. 2 objects. Number 1 is the TV remote from the movie Click, and number 2 is Claptrap from the Borderlands games. For the currency, we've gone with dollars because I am a Charlie Barley superfan. And now to do with the weather, it's raining, and then in brackets, said sarcastically, when it is not raining, in fact it is actually quite nice outside. 3 animals, we've gone with Red Panda, the dog from Marley and Me, and the main guy from the James Bond movies, I can't remember his name. 2 body parts, nostril and ear, the left one, not the right one. 4 adjectives to describe physical characteristics, I've gone with nose, short king, big head, and then in brackets, ooh, big head on the beat. I kind of went off the rails a bit for the last one. I got distracted. I said day trip took it to 10. And finally, it asked me what is my pen name. Now, I thought this meant, like, if I had a pen, what would I name it? And I went with Timothy. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that, is that a pen name? Like, what is a pen name? I don't know. We're just going to assume that's what it is. So we filled out all of the necessary details, and I'm excited. I feel like this is the beginning of a beautiful long-term series of novels that will keep everybody on the edge of their seats. Without any further ado, let us take a look at the novel that we have created. Right, so it turns out our pen name is basically the name of the author. So, it says that Timothy wrote it, but he didn't. I wrote it. This is my novel. I don't even know a Timothy. I feel like I've been robbed. If somebody called Timothy decides to take credit for this novel, then we're going to have problems. Anyway, let's actually start reading our novel. I present to you all The Scrumptious TV Remote from the movie Click, a short story by Neon Aries. Harvey had always loved tasty Pelican Town with its purple, purring Pierre's store. It was a place where he felt ecstatic. There's a bit of a... I forget the word, but like 2 words start the same right next to each other, right? Purple, purring Pierre's. Alliteration. Yeah, that's it. Alliteration. There's alliteration in the first sentence, so we're off to a good start. He was a splendid, sensational coffee drinker with nose, nostril, and short king ear. The left one, not the right one. His friend saw him as an attractive, ashamed after-eights mint chocolate. Once, he had even made a cup of tea for a juicy me. That's the sort of man he was. Okay, it's gone off the rails already. I'm not entirely sure if we could publish this. I feel like there'd be a lot of questions about our use of words in this novel, but I will continue. Harvey walked over to the window and reflected on his it insists upon. Harvey walked over to the window and reflected on his it insists upon itself surroundings. The it's raining, said sarcastically when it is not raining, in fact it is actually quite nice outside, teased like consuming red panda. Then he saw something in the distance, or rather, someone. It was the figure of Abigail. Abigail was a very cool, like very cool menace with a day trip took it to 10. Nostril and big head. Ooh, big head on the beat, ear, the left one, not the right one. I'm struggling to read this. This is one of the hardest videos I've ever had to record. Harvey gulped. He was not prepared for Abigail. As Harvey stepped outside and Abigail came closer, he could see the naughty glint in her eye. Look, Harvey, growled Abigail, with an amusing glare that reminded Harvey of very cool, like very cool, the main guy from the James Bond movies. I can't remember his name. I hate you, and I want Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. You owe me $283. Harvey looked back, even more flabbergasted, and still fingering this scrumptious TV remote from the movie Click. Abigail, how are your vibes at this current moment? He replied. They looked at each other with vibey feelings, like two teeny, tame, the dog for Marley and me eating at a very goth flower dance, which had Radio Mirror Park radio station from Grand Theft Auto 5 music playing in the background and two incredible uncles inhaling to the beat. Oh my god. I'm gonna start crying. Harvey studied Abigail's day trip took it to 10 nostril and big head. Ooh, big head on the beat ear, the left one, not the right one. Eventually he took a deep breath. I'm afraid I'm afraid I declared myself bankrupt, explained Harvey. You will never get your money. No, objected Abigail. You lie. I do not, retorted Harvey. Oh no. Now get your day trip took it to 10 nostril out of here before I hit you with this scrumptious TV remote from the movie Click. That is the most violent threat I've ever read in my entire life. Abigail looked swagalicious, her wallet raw like a crispy, cooperative claptrap from the Borderlands games. Harvey could actually hear Abigail's wallet shatter into 283 pieces. Then the very cool, like very cool menace hurried away into the distance. Not even a cup of coffee would calm Harvey's nerves tonight. The end. We've actually got some automatically generated reviews for our novel, The Scrumptious TV Remote from the movie Click. Let's give these reviews a read and see what people think of it. So first we've got The Daily Tale, who says, I feel like I know Harvey. In a way it feels as though I've always known him. Don't we all? Harvey isn't somebody you need to meet to know. He is somebody you just know based on his name. I don't know what I'm saying. Enid Kibler comes in with a banger of a line. About as enjoyable as being hailed on whilst taking in washing that has been targeted by seagulls with the squits. You know, I wish Enid would speak her mind just a little more. I feel like she's holding back here. You know, I feel like there's a lot more things she could have said, and I don't think she's being completely upfront with her feelings. So that's something she needs to work on. Next we have Hit the Spoof, great name, who says, saying the it's raining said sarcastically when it is not raining, in fact it is actually quite nice outside, teased like consuming red panda, is just the kind of literary device that makes this brilliant. Well, thanks very much. Honestly, we worked very hard on this novel and I'm glad somebody is able to appreciate it, so thank you, Hit the Spoof. Finally, Zob Gloop says, I could do better. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Right, so a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to the feedback on our novel, but overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm not entirely sure how to end this video, to be honest with you. Nothing I say now matters because everybody is probably still thinking about the beautiful story, so yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.